This is an entire city's revolution.
Vice President Omar Suleiman just confirmed Hosni Mubarak's 30-year rule has ended and ended tonight. Just listen to that. What has really been an unprecedented, widespread public protest from Alexandria to Cairo throughout this country. They got what they wanted.
Margaret, we heard this again and again. They wanted to make Tunisia happen here. And the big question was whether Egypt could do it, whether they had the force, whether the state would fold.
And right now, our viewers, just to explain to those listening to you on radio, our viewers are looking at a tape playback of Omar Suleiman, the Vice President of Egypt, very new to that office himself, making the announcement that Hosni Mubarak is leaving the presidency now, vacating that office. Omar Suleiman also saying that the military is now in power. The Egyptian military is now ruling this country. After 30 years of rule of President Hosni Mubarak, the tanks that are in the streets, the military that has had through these protests and what have they, hopefully friendly relationship with the protesters in that they have honored a commitment to not fire on them, to allow them to demonstrate. They are now running this country.
This background role, they've always been in power in some way, but now it's official. They have the central role in this government, and they are taking over. This is unprecedented. Egypt, we cannot state enough the importance of Egypt to the Arab world.
Egypt, just to explain to you all, yes, this is a poor country, but this is a populous country. This is also the center of popular culture. This is where movies come out from. This is Hollywood. This is music. This is culture. All eyes of the Arab world generally center on here, and they're very much watching what just happened in the past few moments.
Trends start. We hear a number of Arab countries saying they want this to happen in their own space. If not the step down, massive political change. People are calling for it from Yemen to Morocco, and this is only going to stoke that flame. We've heard from the activists in other countries. They're watching Egypt, and Egypt is setting the trend for the rest of the Arab world.
So they got what they wanted here in Tahrir, but will they get what they wanted in the long term? Remember, this wasn't just about a demonstration. The key to this, the trigger, was not having the kind of life that so many of these young people wanted. As we say time and again, with 35% of the population is under the age of 30. The price of putting food on the table, the lack of jobs, not being able to really be a full participant in this increasingly globalized economy, that was part of this. And part of the technology that allowed a political voice, a social voice, to be really heard at the highest level in this country.
But as of an hour ago, the protest leaders were telling us they wanted Mubarak to step down, but they wanted steep changes along with that. They wanted the parliament dissolved. They want a new constitution. So a lot of these changes have yet to play out. We don't know what shape this is going to take. But what they're calling for is a reformation of Egyptian society from the top down. And it's become very much a question of how much they can get and how to make it stable. The irony here being that all these economic issues that sparked this crisis have gotten harder to solve now because of it.
That's exactly right. And as we once again get back to that question, what happens next? Hosni Mubarak, no longer president of Egypt after 30 years of rule, the Egyptian military now in charge of this country. Will we see this country get back to work? Will we see it once again reopen and turn the lights on, turn the power on, become plugged in once again to that global economy? We'll wait and we'll see. Right above Tahrir Square, you can hear the noise behind me here. Just to give you a sense, the flags, the Egyptian flag waving wildly in so many hands of these protesters here. It's well into the evening. For weeks now, these protesters have been populating this square, coming back. Remember, Mubarak said not only once, but twice, and then a third time that he was not going to do what was just announced in the past few moments. He resolved that he was going to die in this country and stay in the office of the presidency. We now know that he is vacating that office, handing over power to Vice President Omar Suleiman. I'm looking right now at the screenshot of Al Jazeera showing the protests across this country, and the headline really, Mubarak yatanaha. He's stepped down, he's gone. That is the main thing that these protesters had continued to demand over the past few weeks, and they are celebrating right now. if you can see in the crowd, I'm looking around here. I'm next to the Nile River where there are bridges of people. Cars just have been stopped throughout the day, people wandering in. That 8 p.m. curfew, I don't think, Lara, it's actually going to be,
Margaret, what we're watching here has to be the biggest street party in the world, and it's taking over Egypt. Everybody wants to be in Tahrir Square. The army is trying to control the flow, just get it restricted to one single file line, but people are coming in from every direction. The Egyptian Museum has been a hot corner throughout this, and it's now really become the scene of an incredible celebration.